You've also interviewed many content creators. Has there ever been one where, you're thinking, oh, wow, I've interviewed this person? Or how do you go ahead and go about interviewing someone in the first place? Is there
I'll do that quickly because I'll have to think about the second one. But literally, make sure you have your mic ready. Make sure it's turned on. Because the worst thing you could do is do an interview and then you never see Roberto Carlos again and there's no sounds.
Have you ever had anything like that or not?
It hasn't happened ever since. Trust me.
It's one of those things you only do once and then it's like,
Recently I went to Fulham and it happened again, but luckily, it was a one-off thing and it was... but it's the worst thing that can happen.
Making sure everything's charged as well. The last thing you want is it to die halfway through as well. That is rough as well.
Honestly. And then, obviously preparing your questions. Recently I've been doing a lot of like rapid fire questions. I did some with the Palermo players and we've done really well, good numbers. And they're fun to do because I think especially with content creation, it's essentially why we also intrigued into it is because essentially you get exclusive behind the scene footage of something that you wouldn't be able to see from a standard TV like TNT Sports or Sky Sports isn't going to be asking Roberto Carlos. They can, but at the same time, like you have that freedom to ask anything you want.
You can ask whatever you want.
It's more professional, and you can be a bit more relaxed with the conversation.
And that's the beauty of it. It's like what can I do? What would I want to know from this person? What would like get me to click on the video and be like, that's cool, and also to share it to a friend. But and that's why, like, for example, with my rapid fire questions, I always like to ask like fun questions, but also like interesting questions. So like Roberto Carlos asked him, "Who's your most influential manager?" And he said a manager that I didn't even know existed. Luxembourg or something like
Luxembourg.
that. Vanderlei
Luxembourg.
Yeah,
the
Brazilian
Brazilian
manager. I think the first guy in the national team. So like that's as a football fan, like interesting. I started going into him, and I unlocked a new bit of knowledge, ball knowledge, and then obviously the more fun questions like who's you most scared. Facing. And then as you said, Eto and Figo, and like, so it's about finding that mix as well.
Just Eto and Figo,
not
much about it, but Jesus Christ.
Going back to your question of who's the person that I was most like, wow about interviewing. I think, I'll be honest, Joel Bayer.
Yes.
Joel Bayer, because it was at the beginning of my career, and I was a bit surprised that even was like, go on, like you can interview me.
Yeah.
It was at an event where Bobo Vieri was at, actually. It was a one football event, the app.
Yes.
So Vieri was there, and it was basically like an Italian night, and Joel Bayer was there, and obviously I watched Joel Bayer. He's actually from South London, roundabout where I'm from, and obviously I was just almost kind of sometimes you see people and you're like, I kind of want to follow that path, and you're trying to you look at it like, how can I be, and I saw him there and I was like, I almost got a bit shy. I was like, and I go, can I get an interview? He was like, yeah, sure, mate. And the time of day he gave me in that interview, like that kindness that he showed is, and other people that show you kindness sometimes along your career, and you're like, that's what I want to be like as well. And you stick, because you're gonna find a lot of people that reserve their energy for you, or be a bit, I'm not going to help you out. A bit of competition. Because at the end of the day, it's a job to some people and it's competition. But you don't have to view it like that.
No.
Because at the end of the day, why did you first start getting into what you're doing? Because you love it.
Yeah.
You love football, you love creating content, you love interviewing people, whatever it might be. So why then lose that nice feeling about it and start to get a bit like, I'm not going to collaborate with you. I obviously get it. People have agents and whatnot, but there are some times where like you can be nice. And you can, why not? And I remember like that day just like stuck with me because I was like, wow, like someone that I looked up to in the presenting world and stuff allowed me to interview him, and it was a really good interview. And I asked him like really good questions, like who is the best person you interviewed? The same question you just asked me, and he said Boateng. And I saw that podcast. I think it was the Ferdinand and where they had Boateng.
Yes,
on.
yeah.
And he was like, off camera, he was just wow, like a lot of cool stories and whatnot. And I think because that was a bit earlier on in my career, it was like the first big name that I managed to like kind of interview, and him being really nice to me and friendly to me, like kind of stuck with me throughout my whole career till now. And and it's shout out to Joel Bayer. I saw him at the event. Great guy, and I wish him all the best. But that's another thing I can stress out. Like just be nice to people, man.
Yeah.
Just be nice to people. You never know what people are going through. You never know, like, there's been so many times I wanted to stop social media. So many times, Sometimes late at night, you're thinking, I'm not cut out for this. Look at what he's just posted. Has he done that? Give up. But you don't do that because you're like, I'm doing this because I enjoy it. I'm doing this because I love this. You know, I love this game.
So not comparing yourself to other people, looking at someone else and be like, oh, they're doing this, I should be doing it. So actually, no. If you enjoy what you're doing and you're making content that you think is good and you enjoy it, that's why we're doing podcasts. We enjoy doing it. We want to put out content that we enjoy, people enjoy watching, and I think that's the main thing of, as I said, not comparing yourself to these people are doing this, so we need to. It's like actually just enjoy what you want to do. Exactly. I think, as you said, as soon as you got up to someone and you're a little bit nervous and you kind of get an interview, the worst they can do is say no. But if someone gives you that time of day, says yes, has a bit of a chat with you, it makes life so much easier. Yeah. And it makes you so much more relaxed, which means you'll enjoy it more and you'll, get better content from it.
And build momentum as well, confidence-wise.
Yeah.
Yourself,
No, most certainly.
Absolutely.
And it also goes a long way. Like, for yourself, the fact that you've remembered that interview, like, with Joel Bayer, that it goes a long way. And, moral of the story, just be nice to people because eventually they might end up repaying the favour. It's not even about repaying the favour. It's just being nice in the first place. Yeah. And I think that's the moral, the main moral that I would go ahead and take from that one. You spoke about how you thought sometimes that, I'm not cut out for social media. How do you deal with those thoughts that you get sometimes? Is it just you sleep it off and then the next morning you're all good to go again, or is it something else?
No, I'm not saying I'm perfect and I've got it all figured out, but something that I could kind of, say that works for me is, first of all, doing the right things, like going to the gym, working out, being around positive people. Yeah. Not hype men or hype girls, but positive people.
Yes,
and even if, your best mate tells you that, listen, that was crap what you just did yesterday, but here's how you could do it better. Yeah. That doesn't mean because he's positive. Not, it's still positive.
Constructive criticism
goes a long way also. So it's kind of like a plan. It's like having your fitness in check, and that doesn't mean you've got to be a bodybuilder. It just means you get in your few steps, see some sunlight outside, like sunlight.
Yeah.
Really, I was going to say, we're not back
Come to
Italy.
Palermo for that.
Please. Well, look, I'm sick of the rain, man. Honestly, it's
I think we're going to have to get a podcast
so
about Palermo.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have to do that.
Yes.
So just get some exercise in. Yeah, fresh air. Surround yourself with good people. No matter what religion you believe in, or if you don't believe in a religion, just have some time during the day, which is hard when we're busy. Just be grateful.
Yeah.
Why are you grateful today? Why are you grateful today?
Why am I grateful today?
Ooh.
Why am I grateful today?
Put you on the spot.
Yeah, you put me right on the spot. To be honest, I'm sat here in a nice accommodation having a podcast. I've got food and water. I've got no issues in regards to that, and so many other people, they don't have that. So that's what I'm grateful for.
There you go. Okay. Hello, my name's Carlo. I'm an alcoholic. But that's all it takes.
Yeah, for sure.
But listen, it's hard, especially when you're busy going to events and going there and there and there, and then family meeting and then blah 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 blah. Train cancel, blah blah. How you go? Then Tottenham loses. Like again, we still haven't. Hopefully tomorrow, first win of the year. But it's just.
I haven't won this year yet.
No.
I didn't realise it was that bad.
Don't worry, we've only got one win this year.
I didn't realise it was that bad.
So there's many things you can do, but another thing is also understand. Try learn a bit about like mindfulness because it goes a long way, and I think like listen to some like self-development podcasts and stuff like that. Like I listen to a lot of Chris Williamson, Stephen Bartlett, the Blue Podcast. These are all
very mindful of it.
Sometimes find your little podcast where you feel inspired by. You learn stuff. It's nice. I love my Restless football. I love my Viva il Football in Italy with Cassano Ventola. Like I love my football podcast, but also love before bed to listen to my self-development podcasts. And also talking to people as well about it. Like say like. Have you found anything interesting that's been able to inspire you or get you? And sometimes talking to other people, they tell you about, I listened to this philosopher on YouTube called Alan Watts. You're like, what's that all about?
Who's he?
You know, and then it's just all about just being open-minded and
sure.
talking to people. But yeah, I'd say one-liner is just view it as a cloud. You know, a cloud goes by, it's a negative one. Just acknowledge it, but just don't draw yourself too much into it. Because it's gonna pass. Yeah. You know, because there's so many ups and downs in life, and it's just understanding that the bad moment is not permanent unless you make it permanent. Yeah. And honestly, something that I do sometimes when I'm like anxious or nervous or down, just get up and walk. Yeah. Yeah.
Get up and do something. Yeah.
I was thinking there's just like there's enough people in life to be negative for you. You don't need to be negative for yourself.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's most certainly the thing. I can imagine, you know, on content that you make, you might get a comment that's like, "Oh, well, this is terrible," or something like that. Like when I
don't even look at comments that are negative.
Yeah.
I just literally look up.
I just start. The thing is, you just start laughing at it. Right? I do these TikTok live stream things, and you know, you get the comments like, "Oh, you're terrible." Well, they say nice Scouse accent. I get all the time because obviously I'm not from Liverpool, but I'm a Liverpool fan. But there's loads of other ones. It might be about appearance, might be about this or this and that. I think you just laugh at it because it's always these people who are behind. No face profile and stuff with like user in their name and then about 50 digits. So yeah, I think that's a great way of putting it. Like,
don't give time and day to negative things in life. Just focus on people that give you positive energy. Focus on how you can go and create or the next project and whatnot, and just focus all your energy on that. And then anything else, you're just kind of it's not even like affecting you. It's just like going bang, 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 bang.
Definitely.
I've got a quick question. I think for you, do you think kind of course it's a bit difficult with events and stuff that come up and stuff. Yeah. But do you think like planning helps you a lot in terms of like trying to plan? If, for example, you've got an idea for content, getting that idea down and then planning out, this is what I want to do for this. Because I think sometimes it can get a little bit distracted of like, for example, events. You can suddenly have an event and go, okay, in 2 days, you've got to suddenly go somewhere. You get an opportunity that you don't want to turn down. Do you think that's helped you? Because I know that for me, trying to plan what I'm going to do in a day, trying to just at least get everything down, as I said, make time to go out, do something I like to do and stuff like that. That works a lot for me. Might be different for other people, but is that something that helps you?
I mean, in terms of organisation, I'm the worst person in the planet.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like, I just have like
you got here though, so...
I've got a mental inventory of like, things that I'm going to do today. Remember to drink water, remember to breathe, and, and then also remember the 5 questions you're going to ask Roberto Carlos. In amongst all that. And yeah, I mean, but it does help when you have, what I tend to do, which don't do. Fair enough. That's a good start. Do it on the train on the way to the event. I get my notes set. I mean, already I would have had thoughts, on my walk and whatnot, thinking of things. But when I actually get it down on finger to notes app on the iPhone, just make a note of the name of the person and the questions and whatnot. But it happens so many times where then I'm there and like I'm talking to the person and I'm thinking, actually,
I want to ask
you something else.
Scrap those questions.
Or sometimes I ask him like the person like, what do you want me to ask you?
It's always good though.
Sometimes it's like because sometimes they might have something they want to talk about. I was
going to say when you came in, I was going to say, is there anything you want us to bring up? Like,
exactly.
It's so much more helpful.
Yeah, exactly.
Most certainly.
But yeah, definitely do plan if you can. If you do have time, just set yourself. I mean, having like a schedule of your life is very handy, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not in my DNA.
No. You went to the Muse Awards in Monaco in 2023, I believe it was?
Yes, I did actually. I forgot about
that. We've done our research. We've done our research.
What was that experience like, being in Monaco?
I was young as well. I was like 17 or 18 or something. Actually, I was 18 because I went to the casino, but I wasn't allowed in because I'd ripped jeans. But I must have been 18.
They're strict in Monaco. They're very much. Like,
paid €30 for a Negroni. What? I was like, would you like another? I was like, actually, that's done me for the rest of the month. I was like, I actually don't drink alcohol anymore.
It's very expensive.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, it was very eye-opening because you see a lot of how the people dress there and stuff, and also coming from Southeast London, like you see a certain dress sense, which I'm not saying is good or bad or whatever. I'm just saying but then you go to Monte Carlo and then you see like, whoa,
it's
you're
so
like,
different,
what and it's good though, because you see like, hang on a second, like there is more to the world and life, and because all I did my whole life was London Palermo, because I go see my grandparents and whatnot, and see Palermo play. that was kind of like my first like proper trip out, even though it was like 4 days. It was a convention called conference called Muse Awards, which was celebrating Metaverse.
Yeah.
Obviously, Metaverse has had its up and downs and whatnot, but back then it was like the Roblox was being done by Travis Scott. There were like some real big things in the making, and even still now, Metaverse is Meta glasses and all that stuff.
It's massive stuff.
Most people still don't know what it is. If you ask someone down the street, like, what does Metaverse mean to you? Like, some people go like, I don't know,
It exist.
Yeah, so, but again, that was probably good that I went to that experience because a good friend of mine, Ray, he told me to come out there, and he had his own, well, it still exists now, WizKid Billionaire Club. It's an NFT club where basically empowering the youth. So basically, imagine you have a gym membership and you get to use all the facilities in the gym. WizKid is basically a NFT, which is your unique, it's a non-fungible token, which is your membership to access, people within the industries like fashion, media, whatever. And it's a safe space for obviously, the youth to kind of find and, learn from. Listen, it's a work in progress, don't get me wrong, but, it got nominated and shortlisted for that event where I was in a room sitting a table afar from the Prince of Monte Carlo.
Yeah.
And the guy next to me was like a Swiss like banker, watch creator, and he was telling me like stuff that I was just like going, I was like, yep.
Same.
I was like, yeah. Like, honestly, like he was telling me things, but sometimes you got to throw yourself in them situations and just see how it goes and just try and be open to it, because in another mindset I could be like, nah, this is way out of my league. There's a head designer of Balenciaga in this room. There's a head designer of blah, 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 blah. Like, things that I'm thinking, like, this isn't where I belong,
That's come back to the question I asked you before. Yeah. Is it where you kind of think, should I be here? But actually,
just got to do it.
The mentality of, I'm here. There's a reason I'm here.
Yeah. And you learn things from that,
for sure.
And you kind of build yourself up as like having an inventory of like different experiences, and you're able to talk to different people then sometimes, Obviously football's my comfort zone.
For sure.
But, then it's allowed me to interview Kem or, whoever else, because I've then, dipped in and dabbled in different industries and, Joaquin Phoenix, literally like me and him like shoulder to shoulder, like saying like, what do you think of the film? And he's like telling me like, and you only think about it after, all these moments and stuff. But like, never once have I thought, no, I don't. Like, you'd think I don't belong here, but then you just think, I'm here now.
Yeah.
And you just go with the flow.
Yeah.
Just go with the flow. Now. Yeah, you just can't, because otherwise you're just gonna you're not gonna grow.
No,
you're not gonna grow.
Yeah. No, without a doubt.